the last reason I want to trade George Kittle, and I know there are reasons not to trade him. I mean, it's tough to take a weapon away from Trey Lance, but what I'm really afraid of is that George Kittle's going to take a weapon away from from Trey Lance if he gets hurt. But the issue I have here is also financial. Is he worth $16 million this season? When they signed him, he was. 2018, 2019, he was worth every freaking penny of that. Is he worth it now? Because this is the year that contract kicks in and becomes $16 million a year. Last year was nothing. The year before, he was always a bargain. Now it's $16 million a year. Is he worth it? I'm asking you.
That's the conundrum, because the reality is you don't actually know the answer to that until Trey Lance starts. You don't know the value that Kittle is going to bring to this offense when you have a quarterback who can push the ball down the field, until you have a quarterback behind center that can push the ball down the field. And the 49ers, unfortunately, didn't give us enough of a taste of Trey Lance last season in order to see how he's going to pair with all of our offensive weapons. And so you may unlock George Kittle this season. He may have his greatest statistical year paired up with Trey Lance, but it's not a certainty, and we won't know it until we get rolling. And by that point, is it too late?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think he's not worth $16 million a year. And let me just make the case. I mean, I'm not sure he's getting better. He might be getting worse in the sense of injuries piling up, lower body possibly breaking down, speed starting to decline. Speed was very important to him. Also, at no fault of his own, they gave him this contract thinking the offense is going through you. It doesn't go through him anymore. It goes through Debo. Debo has ascended. Debo is so good that he needs even more attention. He needs more touches next year. And the ironic thing about it, or the thing that's tough for Kittle, is that you use them very similar. They're both yard after the catch guys. It's just that Debo's way better at it at this point. So Debo's ascended. Now Kittle's really the number 2 option. And honestly, he might be the number 3 option with Trey Lance. As I mentioned earlier, Trey Lance is going to be throwing outside the numbers a lot. Jimmy doesn't do that. Jimmy throws to the tight end. Trey Lance, he'll throw to the tight end sometimes, but when he misses high. When you miss high over the middle, you hit a safety in the chest. When you miss high on the sideline, man, you hit a hot dog vendor or the backup quarterback. It's okay. It's not a turnover. I'm telling you, they're going to call a lot of low-risk passes to the sideline this year. And that's not even Kittle's fault, right? But if you're not going to use him the way you thought you're going to be using him, then I don't know if you can justify spending $16 million on a blocking tight end. That's how you use him.
Yeah, it's fair to think that Brandon Ayuk is going to climb up the depth chart with regard to targets, because he is actively training with Trey Lance. And there's going to be a palpable chemistry that develops from that. George Kittle spends his off seasons in Tennessee. And so I doubt that there's going to be as many opportunities for the two of them to connect.
Also, Ayuk runs his routes much closer to the sideline than Kittle does.
Yes, absolutely true. I mean, you could still see an uptick in those deeper shots down the center of the field because, to your point, it's not directly over the middle. You're not going to have those careening balls that end up in safety's hands.
Hold on, though. What you're saying, deeper shots to Kittle, you know what that requires? Sprinting.
Running. Yes. That requires speed.
Sprinting.
It does.
To me, I think a big reason that Kittle wasn't getting the targets this year is they were trying to limit the routes he ran. I think they figured the more he runs, the more likely that that thing could just go. The thing could just pop. When they say a calf, I mean, that's what they said about Kevin Durant a week before he popped his Achilles. So I think they were pretty nervous, and they did a good job of managing it, but he's going to be a year older now. $16 million a season. Wow, scary. But I do think despite all of this, despite 2 injury-plagued seasons, he's approaching 29 and he's expensive. I still think you could get a first-round pick for him this year. And to me, it's like, look what Kansas City did. They got a second-round pick for D Ford right before his career fell apart. Bravo. Well done. They did it right. They knew that was a time bomb. Sorry, D. That was a ticking time bomb. And they got rid of him right at the right time. Niners, I don't know the answer here. I think they should probably know better. But if you have a good sense of this and you don't really trust his lower legs, make a tough call. Make the right call. Send him out like Kansas City did.
It would be a tough call, but if, as you suggest, that played out in that particular scenario to where George Kittle does suffer another injury, it does further hamper him. I mean, I could see a scenario where you would look back and say, wow, that was a great move. But what I can say is it would be an incredibly unpopular move if the San Francisco 49ers did it this offseason.
One more reason why I think it's something they need to consider. Let's say he does continue to slow down and he's not the yards after the catch guy he was anymore. Well, or he just gets injured. Like Vish said this earlier in the week. Well, Gronkowski got injured a lot. He's still good. He still had value. Here's the difference between Rob Gronkowski and George Kittle. Rob Gronkowski's game is not based on speed at all. Rob Gronkowski's game is based on being way bigger than everyone else and what he can give you in the freaking red zone. In his career, Gronkowski has caught 65 touchdown passes in the red zone. He just posts you up. There's nothing you can do. Kittle, in his career, has 11 touchdown catches in the red zone. Like, when the speed goes, he's not going to be a super valuable receiver anymore. He's going to be a lot like the guy he was at Iowa again, which was a 5th-round value. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of strange for a dominant tight end to not be dominant in the red zone, but that's just not how they use him. It's not what he's been.
Can't dispute that. It doesn't match up with what you think of when you think of an elite athletic tight end that has size, that is someone who should be able to create separation, and right. Yet the 49ers have continued to struggle there. Again, I mean, he is such a key member of this team that it would seem like a strategic mistake to trade another locker room guy like they did with DeForest Buckner. But from a production standpoint, from a business standpoint, if you remove the emotion from it, again, I just don't think it's something that you can laugh off.
Yeah, I really think you shouldn't laugh it off. And again, I don't root for this team. If you do, I think you should be concerned about George Kittle getting hurt again, because I think he's, what if he tears his Achilles? I know you can say that about any player, but he was this close last year. He's this close to being untradeable. He's still worth a 1st-round pick. It's a very interesting time, and all I'm saying is I'm concerned. I really don't want him to turn into the next D Ford on the 49ers roster, and not just because – I'm not saying like he won't play, but he won't be tradable. He won't be worth his contract, and he'll probably be on the field. He's a tough guy. He plays through these things, but if it's an Achilles, what can he really do? I'm worried for the 49ers and their fans that they're kind of living in peace, in la la land on this one. I love George Kittle. He's great. And not really stepping back and being like, man, look what happened to Vernon Davis. Look what happened to his last 2 seasons. Are we really? I'm just saying, I'm rambling. Anyway, I don't expect to change anyone's mind, but every so often I'm going to remind people that I'm concerned and that they should think about it, because if it does happen next season, everyone's going to be like, damn, Grant was right. So I'm just giving you guys ample opportunity to come on my side.
Well, here's the gentleman's bet, Grant. At the end of this season, if we're looking at George Kittle's statistics and they're through the freaking roof, I am going to rub it in your face. And if it is the opposite,
and if he gets hurt, I will not rub it in anyone. I'm not.
Come on.
I'm not rooting for Kittle to get hurt. I'm not gonna be happy if he gets hurt. I'm actually very concerned. So if I win the bet, I lose, and the Niners lose, and Kittle lose, and it's a very sad day, and I won't be happy about it. I won't gloat at all. But if I lose the bet, Niner fans everywhere should rejoice and throw it in my face, and I'll gladly take a Boston cream pie, and I'll pie myself. I will pie myself if George Kittle.
Hopefully we could get George Kittle to come on my program out of spite to you so that we could do a Grant spite show.
There you go. All right, let's answer these questions before you got to get back to work. That Niner guy says Brian Cook plays a lot like Tart and Single High and Robert Looks. Love the fuel for that. For the thank Kittle and future Happy Gilmore apology coming. I don't know, man. I'm saying, I don't know. Cedric Mitchell, $10. I'm really concerned about the next Kittle injury. The last 2 have been very similar. Smack Jones says trade Kittle and Jimmy best buds forever and get a damn interior guard and center. Damn this Jimmy throwing change up balls because he sees the end. If Kittle can't see past the slant route, he can go. I like Smack Jones all of a sudden. That's my favorite person. Smack Jones 919. I love you. I've convinced one person. Smack, do you want a full-time show on my channel? I'm kind of free on Fridays. I was playing. Mark says George has the bad shoulder that he could Don Yee with the 49ers if they want to trade him. Yes. Oh, damn. That's true. Kittle could go under the knife at any time, too. I'm getting traded. I just had 8 surgeries. Oh! That's
my
true,
neck
man.
And my back.
Oh, it all hurts at the same time. That's true, man. That Niner guy says, I do not agree with the Kittle take, but the logic behind thought is sound. Can't argue that, but I think it's 2 years too early. Well, that'll be interesting. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to be like, hey, this athlete's career is about to end. He's about to get hurt. Watch. Like, I'm not rooting for that. I'm just concerned. I think there's a difference. I'm rooting for me to be wrong. I like being wrong. Justin says he's a new member. Thank you, Justin. Give me Christian Watson over Kittle. Yeah, Christian Watson in the second round. Where's Christian Watson projected at this point?
It looks early second. I mean, people are talking about sniffing the first round with that 40 time, but I think you're probably looking early second round. My prediction would be top 10 picks in the second round.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the Niners could get there, right? If you're able to move Jimmy Garoppolo and you get another second round pick or another third round pick and you package multiple picks, you can move up. I just don't think they will.
I mean, if they feel that Deebo Samuel's a running back and Brandon Ayuk's a number 2 and they want a big, fast, tall, number 1 wide receiver who can win on the outside like Christian Watson, then maybe they want to do that. I mean, I understand, but then you're just taking more targets away from your $16 million a year tight end. I mean, the only way you get Christian Watson is if you trade Kittle. And I'm cool with that. If they trade Kittle, draft a wide receiver in round 2. I don't give a damn. I mean, Deebo's a running back now, right? I don't know. If you trade Kittle for a first, what position do you draft with the pick? Cornerback, parlay it for more picks. I should have an answer to that. I'm proposing trading him for a first round. I should definitely have an answer for that. I don't have one.
I mean,
TV?
I feel like
How about Petrie?
Petrie would be good. If you're going to get rid of a pass catcher, I mean, it's not crazy to talk about bringing in Christian Watson at that point, right? You could trade back a couple of slots depending on where the pick is in the first round. Trade back, get a couple of picks, take Christian Watson, and grab Petrie.
Trey area. Yeah, that could be good. I like that. I like that very much. You got 4 minutes before things get cracking. Thank you for doing it. We did it. We did the show in the right allotted amount of time. It was great.
Knocked it out. Because we are professionals, Grant.
Go get back to finding out those rumors, baby. That was great. Well done. You like that? Hey, and follow Rob on YouTube and Twitter too. Rob Schuh, SCHUH, if you're listening on a podcast, as some people do.
Yes, they do. I love the Schuh Show on the Cohn podcast. It's fantastic.
Need to see Kittle production usage in Lance era before significantly lowering his stock. 2 targets against Houston. All right, everyone. Have a great day. All the best.